Hey y'all, as promised, I took a quick break, tried to grab me a little bite to eat, not much, literally a couple of bites and swallowed something. That's about all I had for it, okay? But in any event, y'all, um, let's go on and get into this thing. I ain't got all day for it, but I got a little time for it, okay? So this is what it is. Now, there's a group on Facebook because I want to get their name right. This is an excellent group. These folks over here do some real gossiping, okay? And y'all know, we like the gossip on the porch. Now, sometimes it's good gossip, sometimes it's not so good gossip. And this time, the gossip ain't good worth a darn, y'all. Now, the name of the group is Love and Marriage Huntsville and Bell Collective, Keeping It Real. Well, apparently over there, they cover Love and Marriage Huntsville and Bell Collective. You got your fans and people deciding who they like, who they don't like, their favorites, and all that good stuff. And so in the group, one of the ladies made a post praising one of the cast members, and y'all, all hell broke loose. Baby, the streets of Huntsville is talking, and they saying some stuff that's real uncomfortable for everybody to hear, including me. Now, I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all. I told y'all before, I ain't never watched this show. I could never even make myself watch the show, and it seems real whack. The people seem real fake, real plastic. This, in general, the type of people I wouldn't touch with the hand of God. Let's be real. But when I saw what was really going on in that group over there, and the people who live in that area, and the stuff that they were saying, baby, listen. If I had lost my edges, it would have grown back. Jam say my creepy perv meter was on point. Well, yes, your perv meter was definitely on point. And I'm just, you know what, like I said, I'm happy that I never spent 1 minute watching that show because, baby, this right here is off the chain. So, I ain't got time to speak to everybody. Y'all know I just talked to y'all on the last stream. If you hear, then you already know what it is, right? So, let me see if I can share my screen because I want to make sure y'all see what I see so we can move on into this thing the way we need to, right? Okay, so now let me pull up the information that I want y'all to see. And y'all know I ain't that great at this, but if I seen it, y'all gonna see it and we're gonna move like that, okay? So the first thing that I want y'all to get a load of, now this is, let me see, let me just pull up everything. And we'll just go from there. All right. Let's just pull up everything. And we're going to go from there. So now, the first thing, we don't want to get into that first. Let's here. Now, this is the group. This is that group I want y'all to go follow over there on Facebook. This is what their little cover shot looks like. Love and Marriage Huntsville and Bell Collective, Keeping It Real. Now, this is the group where everything was going down, right? So apparently, somebody put this post up and they said, Chris doesn't get enough exposure on the show, in my opinion. He's a breath of fresh air compared to Martell. And she said he fine with a Y. Okay. Now, I don't know if he fine or not. I know that suit looked like his two sizes too small. And I believe I detect the Duke curl or S curl on top of his head, but that's neither here nor there. Now, that post apparently was going along very swimmingly until somebody commented, and he likes underage girls. So that's that. Well, honey, you can imagine the fireworks went off, y'all. And then the comments kept going. So then this sister said, I can't say it's not true. Unfortunately, it is. Okay, let me say for legal purposes, I don't know if he liked it. I know he had sex with an underage girl and that he knew her age. So y'all, around about that time, I was sitting there like, well, let me pay close attention once I saw the information. And of course, y'all know the names are scratched out because we got to protect the people that's doing this good gossiping, okay? Then she says, because apparently people was asking for receipts. You know how we are in our community. We have lots of people who participate in black male worship. And they don't want you to say nothing about these black men, no matter how terrible, terrible they are, okay? She says, y'all freaking killing me with that crap. What receipts would you personally like, boo? Do you want the child's name? What about I blast her parents' name so y'all fans can harass this child? And y'all know that's what happens. I know anybody else owe you any type of receipts. If you don't believe it, fine. I'm just not finna let people put this man on a pedestal when I know what he's running around doing here in Huntsville, I think is what she was trying to say. She responded yet again, y'all, and she said, "Y'all be great. I know everyone on the show, love them all. Everyone is real, real. The entire cast has a major footprint in our community, and we love them. Even Martell, look how she threw that in there, y'all. But that dude, he needs to fall all the way on his knees. He destroys souls, minds. He's done things that the devil may be afraid to do. Well, y'all, I know by this time y'all trying to figure out, good God, how bad is it? She said, it's amazing how people open up to you when they know you're not afraid to speak out. So I speak for the masses undisclosed. Before I get another letter in the mail from your attorney, if you don't want me to talk, you shouldn't have done the action. Y'all, this sounds like my kind of girl, right? She's shooting from the hip, ain't she? Mm-hmm. So you had people saying, spill the tea, sis, what he do? And so this lady says, really? If it was your child, would you want me to say what he did? So this thing got real. So we're going to go ahead and pull that on down. Because, y'all, we got to talk about a few things. Well, I don't want to pull it all the way down. Let me put this up first, right? Because I want y'all to get this little tidbit about the law before we really dig into the gossip that is circulating in the streets of Huntsville. Now, according to the great state of Alabama, if we can call it great, they said the Alabama age of consent is 16 years old. In the United States, the age of consent is the minimum age at which an individual is considered legally old enough to consent in participation in sexual activity. Now I want y'all to put a pin in that because that's going to be real important in just about a minute, okay? Now, the reason that's going to be real important is that I have it on good authority, y'all, that this fella, according to the people who are close to this story, are saying, and this is all alleged. Let me change my banner to the allegedly banner because I don't want to get no letters talking about cease and desist because I've heard that these folks have a bad habit of telling people to cease and desist anytime they tell the truth. And I'm going to get into that in just about a minute. Well, apparently, y'all, the people close to the story are saying, and this is all alleged until we can put the truth all the way out there. Now, I'm being told, this is a sidebar, that once certain things are taken care of and handled, that we'll be able to tell more details about the situation. And when I tell you there's more details, family, there's more details. And it's much worse than I'll be able to say today. But I'm going to say everything I can. Y'all know how I am. So the people close to the story are letting me know, and I do mean close to the story, and I'm going to let y'all read through the lines. They're saying that this man not only messed with this child at 16, but apparently he knew how old she was because they are alleging, y'all, that he knew her as at a much younger age, or at least before she was 16. And they're alleging that he groomed her for the act that then took place after the fact. Now, the story that's being told to me, y'all, again, this is all alleged, but I ain't going to tell you that I do believe it because I really do. That this wasn't just the issue of him dodging a statutory charge, y'all. The complaint that's being made and what's being alleged is that it was forcible. So not only is this man a scumbag, he's possibly, allegedly, a scumbag. It looks like he's also allegedly, possibly, a dangerous scumbag. Ain't that nothing? Now, on top of this being absolutely disgusting, and yes, Symphony Love, it is giving me a good old R. Kelly vibe. It's giving me that vibe. And that ain't a good vibe to be giving nobody, especially not in this day and age. But what triggered me, because this was absolutely a trigger for me, and this is, I probably should have put in the description that this was a trigger warning, okay? It triggered me because this is a young Black woman, and her family is having to watch her suffer And from what I'm understanding of the story, there's been no justice as of yet. And what I also don't like and what triggers me even more is the fact that this alleged attacker, this alleged pervert, this alleged abuser, this alleged dangerous, trifling creature, allegedly, is on a television show being paraded around like he's an upstanding gentleman. Now, at the very least, y'all, I would think that even if this story is alleged and there are allegedly legal proceedings that are taking place and allegedly investigations that are being handled, you would think that the show and the network would not be putting this person on camera. After all, y'all saw what happened with T.I. and Tiny. Didn't they get their whole show canceled about allegedly things that were alleged, and that we still ain't saw one victim? But they hurried up and canceled their entire show. Them folks, those folks lost endorsement deals and everything. I mean, real money. But now we have this person who is alleged not only slimy and creepy, but allegedly dangerous, possibly a danger to other young people in the area. Again, allegedly. I'm wearing allegedly out because it's alleged until we can actually put the things out there that we'd like to. On network, and Carlos King, y'all drag him to the porch too. Allegedly, he knows all about it. And they were perfectly fine to put this man on camera as an upstanding citizen, not even considering how that would affect someone who is possibly the alleged victim. Now, this disgusting to me, and that ain't alleged. I am truly disgusted. Also, y'all, a little bit more for the trigger. Allegedly, Martell Hope knows everything about it. Allegedly, he knows what his good friend did, and he was perfectly happy to help him get on that show because allegedly it benefited them both for him to be there. Okay? Allegedly. And on top of that, I cannot imagine that the rest of the cast is not aware. Do y'all see now why I said I don't feel sorry one bit for not watching that show? I don't feel bad that I had a bad feeling about that show and those people from the first time I saw them. Because, my first instinct was I feel real bad because I'm not watching this show. Why am I not excited about, supporting these Black folks, running businesses and having families? Y'all know that's on brand for me. That's on code for me. But something wouldn't let me do it. And now I'm seeing exactly why this is a whole problem. But then I asked myself, why would these good so-called upstanding citizens be so comfortable with having somebody who's allegedly so treacherous and heinous on the same cast with them and call him friend and be rubbing shoulders with such a person? And y'all, I found out some other stuff that apparently was in the stories and making the rounds in the blogs back in 2019. Now, y'all know I told you I wasn't watching the show, so I didn't know what was going on, honestly. But let me just hold on. Let me just pull this up for you. Something else I happened to find while I was digging around in these people's business once the streets of Huntsville began to start talking, right? So this is what one of our good sisters, who's actually a member of the royal family, brought to my attention. Now, when y'all see this, I want y'all to tell me if you think what I think, right? See, it's looking like this whole cast is problematic. Now, do y'all happen to see these here? See, these are what you call mug shots. Okay? These are good old mug shots. And people in the mug shots are 4 folks, 3 of them some kin, and one of them happened to be that good old Martell Hope. Now, this ain't alleged because this is a picture. I can't allege no picture. All I can do is put it up here and let y'all see what I saw, right? So I said, what is this about? And our good sister proceeded to give me the information as to what it was about. Where them pictures at? I got to find them. Hold on. Because I desperately need y'all to see what I saw. So apparently there is an article in Let me get that newspaper because I want to pull all this stuff up for you. There was a newspaper article that was detailing an arrest of Mr. Martell Holt, okay? And there was an arrest of him, his auntie, the auntie's husband, and another gentleman. And I'm going to let y'all see it for yourselves so y'all can judge for yourselves, okay? I'm pulling it up right now. Y'all give me just a second. Y'all know Big Sis is a little slow with the tech, but I got you, okay? All right. Now we are in business. Okay, so let me grab this info. Y'all give me a second because I want y'all to see what I saw. Like, this is not going to be one of them just straight, this is what I heard. I desperately want y'all to see what I saw. Okay, so the article that I saw is loading up now. Y'all give me a second. There we go. It's in the Decatur Daily is where this article is. So let me share my screen. All right. The article was in the Decatur Daily, and it actually details what happened during that fateful evening when the arrest took place. Now, that again is not alleged because it's in the newspaper. This is a newspaper article. I'm gonna try to make it as big as I can, y'all, so y'all can see what I saw. Oh, it's making it good and big so we can read along together. Isn't that nice? All right. All right, so let's slide on down. So apparently this happened back in 2006, y'all, is when this took place. January 2nd, 2006 is when it was printed in the Decatur Daily, which is a newspaper in that area. So they get into the details about a burglary, a foot chase. Oh, I done tapped it too much, y'all. Forgive me. But I want to get into where the names were actually mentioned and what took place. It says, and we're going to start from here. The four individuals allegedly tried to break into an automated teller machine in Priceville, people said. The authorities captured four, the people said. When Priceville Corporal Rick Williams surprised the two men cutting the telephone wire at Regions Bank in Foodland Shopping Center on Alabama 67. Williams was on routine patrol about 3 a.m. when he saw two men dressed in black. No doubt they were after the ATM cash dispenser at the bank. The men ran, and Williams chased them into Veterans Park before they eluded him. People said Williams called for backup. About 2 hours later, Morgan County deputies found the suspects in a ditch behind McDonald's. According to Morgan County jail records, the two suspects are Samuel Holt, who was 37. I don't want to get into the age and whatever like that. It looks like, and Rashawn Joel Carter. Okay, and then further down we see that that during the time a second vehicle pulled up, and the one that Williams had noticed in the area earlier that morning. In the car, Williams found Martell Holt, 23, and Deborah Holt, 44. Now I'm not gonna read them people's addresses because that's just we don't need all that. Won't need all that. I think we get the point, right? So there was an arrest clearly. And it looks like they weren't charged, but they were arrested. There were some other details that were included in that, and they were not charged. So that's great for them, right? They weren't charged. This story, like I said, made the rounds back in 2019. Now I'm being told that Funky Dineva covered the story, and I'm also being told that in this same group that I highlighted for you all, that they had the story listed as well. So see, we've been sleeping on this, y'all. We didn't even know what all was happening. Okay, we slept on all of it, and I think we slept on it because a lot of us were not paying attention to the story. So this group covered it as well as they're telling me Funky Dineva covered it. So apparently, the cover up began right away. So this is a copy of a cease and desist that was sent to an admin in that group. Didn't even send it to the group owner. So we ain't gonna speak about the level of intelligence, but it was sent to an admin in the group, meaning they didn't even do their due diligence to find out who the actual owner of the group was. So there's that. and basically telling them that this was defamation. Now, I want y'all to tell me how something is defamation when they're just reporting what the news already reported. That there was an arrest. Nobody said he was guilty, but we surely seeing that there was clearly an arrest, okay? And you were, you know, accused, and you were caught wearing black clothing. And the auntie was caught with a police scanner in her boot. See, there was a whole lot of things, and it was the auntie was the husband of the other man that they caught in the ditch behind the McDonald's. So it's a lot of circumstantial evidence, but nobody said anything that could be considered defamation. But I showed you all this just to present the fact that these people are not strangers to covering up things. They don't have a problem covering up things. They don't have a problem with criminal behavior. They don't have a problem with dangerous behavior, allegedly. And so by their pattern of behavior, now I can understand why someone who could be allegedly dangerous and allegedly a predator could be on the cast with them, and they could be allegedly comfortable. Ain't that nothing? Now, see, this is why I brought y'all to the porch, because these jokers deserve to be dragged. You don't get to parade yourself as an upstanding citizen of the community. You don't get to do that. You don't get to parade yourself as an upstanding member of the community when, in fact, allegedly, this is a cast full of people with shady morals and shady backgrounds. Allegedly. I love that word, because then we can say that we can't prove it, but it's looking like something in the milk ain't clean, y'all. So now let me go and see what y'all got to say, because this is a matter for the royal family. I brought it before the family because I wanted the family to have their say on this foolishness. And we ain't going to stay here long, but I wanted to make sure that y'all saw what I saw. So let me go on back and just slide and see what the family got to say. The evangelist says, I knew Martell didn't just become a bad dude all of a sudden. Ain't that something? Them leopards don't change their spots. Now, Sis Zakia says, I hope I'm saying your name right, says Martell was catching heat for spilling Marceau's business on season 2 and the aftermath of his own cheating. His hands are full. Now, Leela is saying most people know about the ATM. Well, sis, I ain't know nothing about the ATM because I ain't know nothing about these people at all. Oh, my. CB is saying Carlos must have paid good money or used his hookups to have the story fall flat, because I wonder why it didn't get traction. For real, for real. I wonder why it didn't get traction too. Because this right here is what you call low down and dirty. And apparently the cover-ups are real, allegedly, over there in Huntsville. I didn't even know they had it going on over there like that. Okay? Denise saying make it bigger. Don't worry, I'm gonna go back and put the link in the description box so y'all can see read it for yourself on your own time. And yes, girl, this is a hot mess. All this going on the Good Own network. Now I know they saying Oprah sold the network, but I was under the impression that she still owned that network when she allowed these people on here. Okay, so now Oprah, I want to know about you. Did you know what was going on? Were you a part of the cover up, Oprah? Or did Carlos King slip this up under your nose? Yeah, there you go. I'm more bothered about the friend. Let me just keep on reading and see what the family got to say. M.R. Spiller says, so that means that Melody knew and kept it quiet as well. Allegedly. That's right. Okay, who else we got? Get your girl, hey. She said a lot of people knew about this. Bigger question is, why did the Southern Belle Mel marry him knowing he had a sketchy past? Now, listen, that's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to play connect the dots and sit there and put 2 and 2 together and see what that tells you about the people on this cast. Okay? I'm hearing all sorts of stories. Like these people had all kind of money issues. These some real shady characters. And they managed to get on television and create these false and synthetic storylines. And they're presenting something to the public that's not real, y'all. Denise Brinson says that's why Martell can't get a builder's license. See, I didn't know about that. Y'all watch the show. I don't. So we're going to say allegedly, but I don't know, girl. That's what Denise said. I'm going to let y'all see what Denise had to say. CB, yeah, they do love a cease and desist. Yep. And Nicolette, that's what I said. This is definitely public information. So I don't know how in the world they could be sending out cease and desist, asking people not to report what's already been reported. Jen Marie say she remember Funky and other bloggers talking about them at the ATM robbery. Okay, all right. I'm gonna still say allegedly because he could say, "Well, I was just wearing black because that's my favorite color," and maybe my auntie be wearing police scanners because that's her favorite accessory. I don't know, so I'm gonna say allegedly, but I want y'all to put two and two together because y'all are not fools, okay? And sending legal docs for something you can discover on Google. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about the intelligence of these people now. These people ain't that bright, and they proving it, and that ain't alleged. I'm gonna go on record and say you ain't that smart. I'm gonna go on record. hmm I want y'all to really see what we dealing with, what they're really trotting out in front of you and insulting your intelligence with. Hold on, Corrine, thank you so much for the super chat. Says I didn't know about the ATM. I didn't know about none of this. Just messy. Thank you, girl. I didn't know either. And I'm gonna tell you this much: when I heard about it, I was triggered. I was beyond triggered. I am a mother of two girls. And M.R. Spiller says, this makes me side-eye Carlos King. I've been side-eyeing Oprah. Okay? I want y'all all to put your side-eye on. Put your eyes on these people and pay attention. Y'all are welcome to share this video anywhere you want to because I'm not afraid of them. I ain't got nothing for you to take. Cease and desist what? I'm reporting what's already been reported, and I'm re-reporting the gossip that's already out there, allegedly. Because here we are in this group on Facebook. And for those of you who are on Facebook, go follow that group. I'm going to put their link in the description box of this video as well. Because apparently those are people who live in the area and they getting the gossip that's on the ground. Not what the people want y'all to see on television. They getting the real gossip that's on the ground. La Chanel says, prime example of wolves in sheep's clothing. Ain't it? This don't make no sense. I mean, this man sitting up there, you would think that you would really think sugar melt in his mouth. This is a mess. Y'all, this is a whole mess. Lovely T say, with the exemption of Kimmy, they all seem like scammers. You said it, I didn't. I ain't say it, girl, but you said it. Nay Tebe Nay. Nay Tebe Nay. All right, girl. Said it was a lot of stuff going on with Martell, but they made sure to only show the things about Tisha and Marceau as a distraction. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I done heard a lot of little stuff that I can't repeat. I'm going to say the stuff that I can. The stuff that I can't repeat, I'm going to keep my mouth shut until I can. But I'm going to tell you, the only person I ain't heard nothing really illegal about was Marceau. Now, y'all know the Cartoon Network was trying to put stuff out on that man, but I ain't heard nothing illegal about him. So there's that, right? And then Adele Williams says maybe Oprah found out, and this was a contributing factor why she sold the majority shares of the OWN network. I don't know, Miss Adele. Maybe. The name of the Facebook group is Love and Marriage Huntsville and Bell Collective Keeping It Real. I'm going to repost it. I showed it at the beginning of the video. If you watch the playback, you'll catch it. But I'm definitely going to post the link in the description of the video so y'all can get over there. Listen, them girls got the gossip on tap, and they ain't playing no games, okay? They got it straight over there. And Delicia, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I guess the cast of Shady are a shady mess, allegedly. Yeah, they look like a shady mess, allegedly. They look like a whole shady mess, allegedly. And see, I wasn't watching the show because it seemed so fake and plastic and just prepackaged. It just didn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't working for me. Ernestine Lee said Carlos King knew about the dungeon. Now listen, allegedly, that is the story. They were saying that Carlos is the one that told Phaedra about the quote unquote dungeon. So with that being said, it's like Carlos is starting to look real suspect to me. Like he don't mind things being a little low down and dirty as long as he can get his coin. Okay, Carlos, we watching you. This don't look right, honey. Alexis E, thank you for the super chat. She said, I almost missed the live. Girl, you almost missed it because we ain't staying long. This wasn't one of those 2-hour lives. We need to be here 2 hours for this. We just gonna put the facts out there and let the people draw their own conclusions. Uh-huh. Yeah. See, this is what's going on. I'm glad the family is paying attention. I'm glad y'all in the room so we can make sure this gets out. Listen, I'm a firm believer that we're supposed to support each other, but we ain't got no business with folks allegedly with situations like this going on, and we're parading them around as role models in our community. They have no business as role models, especially not somebody with complaints like this. This shouldn't be happening. Just like they were perfectly happy to snatch T.I. off the television, him, his family, his whole cast. They did not care who lost a check, who did not get paid. They pulled him off because the accusations were there, allegedly. So I'm trying to understand why we not keeping the same energy for something that is far more heinous of an accusation. The accusation on ground, kinfolks, is that this man, if we can call him that, knew this young girl while she was younger, watched her, groomed her, and then forcibly attacked her once she reached the age of consent, because then it would be a matter of her word against his, allegedly. And I know good and well we're not going to sit quiet while this goes on and they continue to sweep it up under the rug. Catherine 10, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Marceau has a child out there also allegedly. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I heard something like that, but I can't, I don't know enough about it. Ain't nobody came to me and really brought the gossip, so I can't say nothing about it. And let me say this. I don't really have a problem with the cheating folks. If y'all cheating, that's y'all business. That's between you and your wife, because I wasn't at the altar with you. Okay? And if you cheating with another consenting adult, that's fine with me too. Y'all both grown. But what bothers me is the aspect of somebody watching a young child, watching her grow up, waiting until the technicality declared her legal, and then pouncing on her like some kind of rabid animal, allegedly. That's what I got a problem with. Miss GJ say that ain't true. So see, that's why I say I ain't touching that. I don't know nothing about it. And I'm not married to him. So, he ain't promised me nothing. Miss Drea say Chris looked like an old slick Rick young girl grabber. Ooh, that's what the family's saying now. That's what the family's saying. Say, yeah, I hear all that gossip, but only gossip that's been proved was Mel and Martell's business. Mm-hmm. My niece in here, hold on. U.S. Army brat, what you say? I knew there was a reason I could never get into that show. That's what I said, niece. I couldn't do it. It wasn't working for me. And I just didn't know why. I didn't know why I was having such a guttural response to it. Nicolette Johnson say, yeah, don't mess with the babies. We got to protect them. And that's what I'm saying. I'm a mother. I'm a whole mama. So that triggered me on a whole lot of different levels. That bothered me because I could not imagine what I'd have done if that had been my baby, allegedly. I can guarantee you it wouldn't have been no TV shows going on. I can promise you that. Jinx Taylor said Carlos knew full well that at some point this was going to be exposed. He had to know, which makes me wonder, like, what on Carlos' end, what's your end game? Why would you even put it out there knowing that it's a possibility? Why would you do that? Like, I'm trying to figure out how Carlos is going to benefit from this, or whether he just felt like, I don't even care if it blows up later. Let me get my money now. Carlos, allegedly, this is you looking shady, huh? Delicia say Chris' wife said he had an affair. Well, I heard about the affair. And like I said, I know people get all excited about affairs. I don't. I don't. It's my business to watch the man at my house. I can't babysit nobody else, man. And I don't want nobody babysitting mine. If y'all get my meaning. But this stuff right here, where we start getting into the protection of our babies, that's when I got an issue. That's when I got an issue. Because to me, I don't care if the technicality said it was legal. The fact that you were a creep and you watched this kid grow up and then waited until you thought you were, in the clear to make your move, allegedly, that's when I got a problem. Symphony Love says that's why Mel always looks so over the other couple, because she knows they have bigger mess to be revealed. Oh, okay. See, again, I ain't watched it, and at this point, I can pretty much guarantee y'all I ain't never gonna watch it. M.R. Spiller says Melody is not innocent. She married him young, so she knew about this, just like she knew about Martell's affairs. didn't have a problem until old girl got pregnant. Y'all, I heard that now. I heard that. I ain't gonna say, again, not my business, but the word on the curb is that not only did she know that he wasn't even hiding the affair, it was just out in the open. Yeah, Dina Graff, I heard that too. I heard she got a daycare. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing about her daycare. I ain't gonna say nothing about that lady. I'm not even gonna say her name, even though I've heard it. Because this ain't about her so much. This is about him. And I wonder if she's heard these complaints. I wonder if she's heard the accusations. I'm hearing that there is a legal process underway. So I can't imagine that she wouldn't have heard it, right? I can't imagine, but maybe she did. M.R. Spiller says it's fine to have an affair with a woman of age, but not a child. You better say that again. Jay Boogie say that's what most old men do, watch and wait. You know what? I hope most old men ain't sitting up watching people's children, because that's a real scary thought if most of them are doing that. I ain't gonna go that far, but I'm gonna say it's enough of them that we need to nip it in the bud, and we need not to bite our tongues when it's going on, and we surely don't need to be supporting them by watching their shows and giving them no ratings. Now that's what we don't need to be doing. Now everybody was in such a hurry to boycott Bravo because Nene told y'all that these people were practicing the system of racism against her and other Black cast members on different franchises as well as her own. And I'm not saying that's wrong. We absolutely should stand in solidarity with that sister and any other sister who's telling you that something is happening to them. I'm not saying we shouldn't. But at the same time, I'm trying to understand why, in the name of God and all that is holy, would we be sitting up here watching the show, giving these people ratings, clicks, and views, giving them our good time on social media and YouTube and other platforms, discussing this mess when these are the kind of people we looking at on the screen, allegedly. Alexis E saying it for real. She says he wouldn't be around my kids, and he sure wouldn't be around mine. And you got that right, girl. You ain't saying nothing wrong. I wish I would catch somebody like that around my children. And Minky Finky, girl, you listen, you channeling my spirit right now. He needs to be dealt with. For real, for real. Allegedly. Y'all just make sure y'all throw that allegedly in there, baby. We're going to wear it out today. Allegedly. I'm just going to let y'all go ahead and drag them. Because that's what they need. Jay Boogie says, Seanitra, come on now. Huntsville ain't but so big. You know Chris' wife knows. Allegedly. I love it. Girl, I love how you threw that on there. She gotta know. She gotta know. I come from a little town in Florida. I was raised around people in little towns. You're right. The word is out there. That's how I ended up in this group. We're talking about the show because these are people from this town. These are people, some of them are very close to the story, y'all. That's the only thing I'm at liberty to say at this point. These people are close to the story. So if people on the street in their town are talking about it, it's making the rounds. You're not going to tell me Carlos King is unaware. Because I heard he was, and I tend to believe it. I tend to believe it. Okay? Allegedly. PS, what's this? PSG4L. Your name always give me tongue tied. Says, I thought Chris was a pastor and his wife was supposedly counseling Mel and Martell. Now, I ain't know that part. Now, don't y'all sit up here and tell me this man supposed to be no preacher. Now, we don't need now another preacher doing stuff like this. Don't y'all tell me this man no preacher. Somebody better come through here and tell me something else now. That's right, Naomi, allegedly. I need somebody to do something to make me feel better. This man ain't no preacher, right? Lovely T say, let me catch somebody like that around my kids. It's going to be more than furniture moving. Girl, you better say it. I know somebody better tell me this man ain't no preacher. I hope that was just a misconception, right? I hope. Okay, he ain't no preacher according to Kimberly Henderson. Thank you. Because listen, y'all had done raised up my blood pressure. I was gonna have to go in there and take a shot of apple cider vinegar. DGF 627 says, old man hit on my niece and he chanted, Chester, Chester, child molester. He backed the F up. Girls need to be taught to not be afraid. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yep, allegedly. Everything I say, allegedly. That's right. But this is the whole thing. we have to be honest about certain things in our community. It exists. We're not saying it don't exist in other communities, but we talking about us because we the ones that we worry about. We got to worry about us. Now, this does unfortunately happens in our community, okay? But we got to talk about the fact that we got to stand up and say it ain't going on no more. See, that situation with R. Kelly went on as long as it did because everybody swept stuff under the cover. Everybody went putting it under the rug, covering it up, accepting it, calling the girls fast, blaming the young women instead of looking at the old goat that was going after these babies. Okay? Get your girl TV say, now I want to upload my reviews for this show. Girl, if you want to upload your reviews, you done spent your time watched it, upload your reviews. But just when you upload your reviews, make sure you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Allegedly. So now, C Sharper said, allegedly, who put this story out? Allegedly, Mark. No, I ain't going to say that. It was somebody in the group, again, who was close to the story and close to the alleged victim. And they were triggered by seeing somebody make that post, putting this man on a pedestal and parading him around like he was the second coming. So they decided to air him out. And upon further review and further conversation, we find out that there's a lot more to this story, including the fact that there's possibly another young lady who had the same experience with this person who allegedly took some money. Now that's what I'm gonna say, allegedly, until I can say something else. I just can't believe that I had to pull time out of my good day to talk about something that to talk about a show that I could care less about because we got people that are allegedly a danger to the community. Okay? Brother-in-law just made it in. Bruh, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, love you, sis. Sorry I couldn't make it. That's all right. I'm just glad you passed through. So this is what we up against, family. This is what it is. This is what I need to put out there to make sure that y'all know what's going on, what's being promoted on OWN Network, what Carlos King is producing, what he knows about allegedly, and helped to cover up allegedly, what the rest of the cast is aware of allegedly, and what this man is accused of allegedly. Jesse says, just my opinion, but Chris's wife probably stayed because she believes divorce is not an option. Well, it is for me. God wouldn't want you to spend your life with a nasty, cheating partner. Oh, my. Well, you know what? I agree with that. I'm going to leave that and let folks look at it because I don't think that that's what God wants for any of us. I think that's a safe conversation. Now, I did hear some things concerning the fact that the wife has political aspirations, allegedly. I don't know if it's true, nor do I know whether that's why she may have kept silent. I don't know. But allegedly, that's what I'm being told by the good folks down there in Huntsville, Alabama. So, y'all, I ain't going to stay too long because I promised the good sister that I would be over there to help her talk about them folks um, on Potomac. Okay? So, I'm going to go do that on time. But I just wanted to give y'all a few minutes to get it all out your system, let y'all digest what I had to digest because that was a lot for me. I ain't going to lie. I was triggered as hell. Okay? Triggered is an understatement for how I felt about that information that I heard. I'm going to drop the link and leave it there for a few minutes. If somebody wants to get something off their chest, if you're feeling particularly triggered and typing just won't do you justice, you need to say it out loud, feel free to slide your hips up here and say what you need to say, allegedly. But make sure you do it quickly if you don't have anything to say, because y'all know Auntie got to go. I can't stay all day. This was a quick drive-by, a drive-by emergency dragging of those trifling folks over at Love and Marriage Huntsville on the OWN Network, including Carlos King, allegedly. Okay? Nay, no problem. I don't have no problem sounding the alarm, blowing the whistle, and letting y'all know when we got some people in our midst that are possible dangers to the rest of the community, allegedly. See, if we can blow the whistle on the rappers, we gonna blow the whistle on these jokers running around here in these $5 suits too. See, this is why I'm against respectability politics, because some people can dress the right way and speak the right way and make sure that they don't use no double negatives when they talk. And folks tend to overlook their bull crap, allegedly. So we're going to air them out. We're going to keep the same energy, and we're going to keep right on putting them on Front Street. We're not going to just talk about the rappers because they over there, having the girls half naked, the strippers and whatnot. We're going to talk about the people that allegedly are real dangers to the community, not people who are partying with grown folks who are deciding on their own to take illicit substances. We're going to talk about these folks that sit up and watch our babies until they feel like they're a legal age, allegedly, and then commit heinous acts, horrible acts against these children. So that's all I got for it. Looks like y'all ain't got nothing else. It looks like the dragon. Oh, nope, somebody want to say something. Let's bring them on in because I was going to shut the porch down. We got a few minutes. Who we got? All right. Hey there, how you doing? Hello? Hello, hello. A sip with D. If you talking, we can't hear you. Can y'all hear a sip with D? Because I can't hear a thing. Well, listen, dear, we brought you up. Go down and come back, and maybe it'll get better. Okay? Well, she hit the. Can you say something now? I saw you hit mute and unmute. All right. Well, come on back if you get your mic together. I know sometimes that um, these systems don't behave the way they're supposed to, and that's okay. That's fine. Y'all come on and holler at us when you get everything together. So in the meanwhile, I ain't got nothing else for it. I ain't got nothing else for it. I said everything I had to say. Um, got for it at this point is y'all be aware, be wise, pay attention to the people that's in front of you. I hate to say watch the gossip groups, but I'm gonna tell you, y'all better watch some gossip groups because some of these people are really telling y'all what's going on the ground, and you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, pay attention to what's happening. Y'all don't miss out on nothing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I love you all, and we'll talk again tomorrow on our Crown Chat. Bye, y'all.